up on the screen. Look on the screen. Not going to win the Mother of the Year award. Let's look at two stories here. We have this story of this woman who is arrested for allegedly beating her child to death. And then we have one here, says she gave birth. They've got her on suspected charge of 2 murders of 2 children. Let's check it out. Fair use.
Action to the death of a baby boy who was found in the Mississippi River back in 2003.
Investigators announcing that arrest and how they cracked that case this morning. Rob Olson live for us at the Goodhue County Courthouse tonight with more. Rob?
Yeah, and to be clear off the top here, there have been 3 instances of newborns found in the Mississippi River, 99, 03, and 07. The woman who's been arrested and charged is now linked to the first 2 as the mother. The third one, that appears to be unrelated at this point. But this break in these first 2 cases bring answers, albeit difficult ones, to questions that have lingered here for so long.
It has been 8,222 days since we discovered our first newborn wrapped in a towel and floating in the water near the city of Red Wing.
For more than 22 years, the discoveries have haunted the community of Red Wing. A newborn girl found in November of 99 floating among the boathouses at Red Wing's Bay Point Park. A newborn boy found in December of 03 on a beach of Lake Pepin near Frontenac, and both were deceased.
2 words: tenacity and perseverance.
Now in custody, arrested early Monday, 50-year-old Jennifer Matter of rural Red Wing, charged with 2 counts of second-degree murder for the death of the infant boy in 03. Wow. Red Wing President Jeannie Madsen paid for the funerals and burials of those children.
It's really hard to put into words what I'm feeling right now.
What broke the case now is genetic genealogy, essentially running the infant's DNA against public DNA databases and building a family tree, which through identified relatives led to Matter. Last week, a court-ordered DNA sample confirmed she's the mother of both infants. Now, she's not charged for the 99 case because she told investigators the baby was born blue and not breathing. No evidence at this point that that baby was alive.
Charges may be amended or added at a later time as more evidence comes to light.
But in the 03 case, she told police she gave birth at the beach on Lake Pepin, then left the baby hoping somebody would find it. Though when someone did, it was days later and too late.
I mentioned that the tenacity of our investigations, all these people, was amazing. And I think we're just sighing a sigh of relief right now.
So she's trying to sit up here and say that she gave birth, one was blue, and the other, she just left the baby hoping somebody would find it. The area, that looks a little rural, like on the outskirts. So it's not like you're going to an area that's heavily populated. Hoping somebody would find it. No, you didn't give a darn. That's what I think. Like people don't, what if an animal had found it? Hoping somebody would find it. When all you had to do was use birth control. And there's a thing called the fire station, because these are babies. See, a lot of these women, when they got the man, it's all good. But then when they get the stomach mumps and he checks out on a 5 to 10 year lunch, he get ready to go to lunch. He might be on the next 5 or 10 years. Why? Because you got the stomach mumps. And then you realize, oh, I don't have my man. It's just me and this child. Or in this case, these children. Now you want to check out. But they won't check out on those men like that. So desperate. So desperate. This right here, once they complete the investigation, if they find murder, the kid's been murdered, something of that nature, which would not surprise me, she needs to go away forever. She took away their forever. Guess what? They should take her. That's how I feel about it. These women are desperate. And as things get more challenging economically, I think we're going to have more craziness, more evilness coming out of the gate. Dusties and Dustinas. Now, check out this story. I don't know why the hell she's looking mad. Like she's inconvenienced. Check out the story. What she is suspected of doing to her child. It's unbelievable. This one doesn't need to see the light of day. Neither one of them. The mother of two. Look at what they are alleging occurred. Fair use.
In the tragic death of a 2-year-old child. You may recall our reports from last week on the arrest of Diane Ferrand. She's accused of killing her own toddler. Candace Charles spoke with family about the case.
The family of 2-year-old Galen Ferrand told me that he was a sweet child who loved Batman. They also tell me that in the years of his younger life, he showed signs that he was terrified, but they never thought that his mother, Diane, would try to harm them. We want to remind viewers that this is a graphic story.
The time we had with Jelani, it was memories. It was unforgettable.
2-year-old Galen Ferrand loved playing with his cousins and loved Batman. He was growing up with a mother suffering with serious problems. His family says there were signs that something was off in the Ferrand home.
Certain signs showed me he was terrified, but she denied it in so many ways.
His mother, Diane Ferrand's condition appeared to worsen. His father, Malik Washington, said recently Diane was making suicidal threats. His father and aunt tell me they tried to take him away from his mother on multiple occasions, but never got the chance.
I begged her to let us get him.
Galen's family says that on April 28th, Diane reportedly beat him unconscious, then put him in bed next to his 4-year-old brother. It would be 16 hours before calling a family member to call the police.
Why didn't you call for help when he hit his head?
Police say they were called to Ferrand's home at around 5 that evening. There they found the 2-year-old unresponsive with multiple serious injuries.
I never thought it was going to be harder home, hurt our child, hurt ourselves.
I don't understand fully what made you do this to this innocent baby.
Diane reportedly beat him because the 2-year-old didn't want to put on his socks. He was taken to the hospital where doctors announced him brain dead. His family told me when they arrived at the hospital, they saw what appeared to be burn marks from a cigarette all over his body, multiple bruises, missing nails, and bite marks from him biting the inside of his mouth.
This probably be the worstest thing I ever been through. Deep down inside, I feel because I was supposed to be there to protect him.
Where there is anger, there's even more pain. Though a history of mental illness has yet to be confirmed, the family says they hope Diane seeks help while they plan a Batman-themed funeral for 2-year-old Galen.
He actually is our superhero. This is an eye-opener for me, my family.
Now, the family needs your help in laying this little boy to rest. We do have a link to their GoFundMe on our website, wwltv.com.
And I knew the GoFundMe was coming. See, both of this men, like Becky. Where you man at? Where Dusty Dan at, Becky? He long gone and I'm on my own. And I think the same thing with this woman here. She has 2 children. Look at the abuse. Basically, she put a child here, carrying the seed of what I perceive as poverty D. She carried a child here, and what kind of life did he have? 2 years. More than likely, based on the findings of how he was abused, I would say a life of terror. Now, think about it. 2 years of a life of terror. Look how this child has been abused. And Father, yes, you did fail him. You could have petitioned. For custody. Look at what the hospital found. You mean you can get your child and start taking pictures, making reports? She's acting strange. Start documenting things. You couldn't do that? Let's not act brand new. If someone said these are the steps to follow for you to maybe be a rapper, we got some free studio time. We got this Rolls Royce out here for you to floss in and a whole bunch of girls. You probably follow those steps. More than likely, in my opinion, I think you would. So seeing this, no one could have taken pictures, gone to CPS. He couldn't file for custody. Here's the flip side of it. Think about it. Imagine children going through this. Imagine children going through this. Cute little baby. Imagine the ones that survive. The ones that survive, then you wonder why they grow up and just start shooting. Take somebody, snatch your purse, snatch your arm, dislocate your arm with it, punch you out, and just shoot you. Somebody bump into and just start shooting. How do we get there? That home life? Imagine if he'd had survived and he's going through all this. You think it would stop by next week? A couple of months? And people always want to know how to get some help. Yeah, after someone's deceased. Gotcha. We can't get it before then. So imagine if he had survived. Precious baby. So cute. Then you may look at him. See, all that damage is done in the home. That suffering is done in the home, and we don't want to admit that. Then they want to blame the schools. They ain't raising the kids. No. What's your job as a parent? What's going on inside the home? So all that damage, all that violence, all that pain and suffering is going on inside the home. Then when they get out into society, you wonder, they did what? A high-speed chase? Other people are dead and he got out laughing? Really? You wonder why. As Denzel said, and I totally agree, the pipeline of prison, it starts in the home. You wonder why the disrespectful of the teachers, a whole lot of anger. What if he had survived and was still living that? Being subjected to that. So the father saying, oh, I feel that I failed him. Sir, you did. You did fail your son. Why did you not go and file for custody? Burn marks on the baby. Precious baby. So this here, he's 2 years old. I'm thinking maybe he was going through the terrible twos, and with a lot of people's lives up in a roar, and you're really mad about, oh, you got 2 kids. I'm stuck with 2 kids. I can't do what I want to go do. I'm stuck with 2 kids. Taking their frustrations out on the children. And here's the sad thing about these kids. Let's be real. The children didn't ask to be here. I'm sure if they could choose parent, they wouldn't have chose Biloxi Becky on the first video, and they sure as hell wouldn't have chose little Kiki. They wouldn't have chose her. Look at her. She looks terrifying. But yet and still, she laying up with some man, the seed of poverty D, and he laying up with her. She becomes the IOD, incubator of destruction, and she put a life here and destroyed it. But think about it. When you find these youngsters that are just callous, breaking in folks' homes, killing people, just shooting over a least little thing, how did that person get to this point? What they're exposed to, the home life, is what they're exposed to. No accountability. Destine is just like their man. They've been drama, death, and trauma. The financial implications is too much dust to the nation. Let me know your thoughts on the matter. If you agree or disagree, feel free to comment below. Thanks for listening, and also feel free to like, subscribe, and share.